Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. It is time to start the show, but there is some breaking news. I put it in the chat a little bit earlier if you're just getting here. Apparently, the 1,124th Native American Senator, Elizabeth Warren, has decided to steal Barack Obama's thunder. Of course, she's stealing from a black man because that's kind of a cultural appropriating an endorsement of Joe Biden. Yes, this morning, about 30 minutes ago, Elizabeth Warren has endorsed Joe Biden. Just one day after the second last Democrat, and former president and Saint Barack Obama. Oh, what the hell? I didn't hear that. Did you hear that? I didn't hear it. What the hell's going on? Anyway, we'll get into the details in a bit. Oh, whoa, there we go. Oh, the angels on high sang down. Anyway, we're going to talk about a little bit about the WHO today and endorsements of Joe Biden. There's a couple of endorsements of Joe Biden the last day or so, and I think we should talk about those. But before that, I got to play the intro. I'll see you in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. Stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. It's tax day. Oh, wait a minute. It's not tax day anymore because tax day has been moved to July 15th, but it is Wednesday, April 15th, 2020 on the Morning Night Live, and I am your host, Marty, also known as PDawg Knight. That's what I'll call me on the internet, on the PDawg Knight channel. Welcome again to the Morning Night Live. If you like what we do here, make sure you at some time during the show hit that like button. You know how that works. And that's the thumbs up. Except for Duck Dog, if he shows up, he has exclusive permission to hit the thumbs down. Also, if you would be so kind as to share the show out. Yesterday, amazingly, was it 54 new subscribers? It had to be more than that because I think I was only at like 620. So almost 100 new subscribers yesterday, thanks to the very generous shout out from the Hard Bastard. If you're familiar with Hard Bastard, he runs a great show on the Hard Bastard channel. He has two channels, Hard Bastard and Hard News Network. You got to go check him out too. That was awesome of him to do that for me. And all you new people, I am so glad you showed up. But so far, it looks like a lot of regulars are in the chat. Fantastic. Also, if you want to do super chats, I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet, but I'm getting close. It's getting closer every day. Y'all remember? What date was that? That was like April 3rd. Remember on April 3rd, I was just celebrating 600 subscribers. And now I'm over 700. Holy shit. Yes, I just said shit. Amazing. I love it. It's fantastic. I'm so glad that we have 700 subscribers now. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. That was a little delayed reaction, but I appreciate the love that y'all give me. So let's do this. Before I get it, I'm gonna do the good mornings now because holy moly, it's getting hot in her, and I'm not going to take off any clothes, but I am going to say good morning to everybody. First in the chat today was my good friend Chi-Town Jay. Thank you, sir. You get the bell. Good morning, Merle Davis, Richo, Zero the Hero, Tyler F, Gunfox61, Advocatus Diaboli. Let's see how to scroll a little bit. Sheograth, howdy bigots, and I'm sure Sheograth will have a pun here or there somewhere. Good morning to, did I already said Zero the Hero? Good morning. I did say Zero the Hero. Good morning. Good morning from the Maddie from the House Geek, also known as the News Chick. Mitch the Ripper, D.I. Freighter, let's see who else I got here. Cracked. Oh, Cracked gets to watch live for a change. That's awesome. Good morning. Your boy Pat, my brother. How you doing? Good morning, Maniac Man. Mike Savage. Mr. Hugh. Welcome back. I'm scrolling. Good morning, Grillin' Pirate Pete. Stabbin' Joe Scarborough. Oh, Well, I don't have super chat because I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet. I'm still at 700, but you can do it through the Streamlabs link in the description down below, or right there, PDawgnight.live. That's my Streamlabs link. In fact, look in the chat, just showed up. This show is sponsored by viewers like you. Support the show with your donations and have your super chats read live on the show. Click right there and the PDawgnight.live link. Also, if you do those super chat things, you can do what you got to do is you got to scroll down just a tiny bit and see what kind of things you get when you put a certain dollar amounts in, because I have some special alerts just for that. And if you like special alerts, you got to check those out. Also, good morning to Cryptic, Beelan Bobby. I'm gonna say that's Beelan Bobby. Some of my new people, and all y'all who are new here, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Share the stream. If we get to 1,000, I can do regular super chats. I know some people don't like to do Streamlabs. It's a little cumbersome, especially if you're on a phone. You got to open another window and all that. So when I get to 1,000, I wasn't gonna monetize this channel, but I know some people prefer just the YouTube super chat. So we'll get to there someday. We'll give it. I like Streamlabs better anyway. You get them. They pay you right away. I mean, you don't have to, and it doesn't take. They don't take as much out. I hate giving money to YouTube. I'm just telling you. I hate giving money to YouTube. All right, so let's move on real quick. Thank you to let's see. Tim Gersh, kind of tired of the Obama sound effect. You know what? You just have to bear with me because I'm using it. I'm just going to. Thank you, Maddie, for retweeting the show. Also, you can follow me on Twitter right over there at PDawgnight. You can do that too, and you'll get notifications just directly from me. Mine's in Gab. If you use those and you don't use Twitter, but you use one of the other two, you can do that too. Anyway, and retweet. Don't retweet. 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 I know people see it. If you like, some people see it. I'll see it, but not everybody will see it. Retweet. That's how you can help me grow. I really appreciate that. All right, let's get into it because the big news yesterday, during the daily coronavirus briefing, the president of the United States pissed off China and all the media that supports China, which means most of the media, and said that he is announcing the halt of funding for the WHO, the World Health Organization, pending a review. And it's still number one on Twitter. It's been number one on Twitter. It's trending all night long. Trump announces the halt of funding of WHO pending review of coronavirus response. During a briefing on Tuesday, President Trump slammed the World Health Organization for its response to the global coronavirus outbreak and announced the administration would be halting funding pending an investigation. Looks like they got a video here. Let's check this real quick. I'm clicking and nothing's happening. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's right here.
My administration to halt funding.
Whoa. I just hang on a second. I almost forgot. Hey, hello, Jack Fernstrom. Good morning. Did I miss anybody? I see Maniac Man, I said hi to you. I'm trying to say hi to, there's so many new people that it's tricky, but you guys are the old people. But hey, however that goes. All right, let's do, hang on. I got to do something. Now, for my new folks, we didn't do this yesterday because I was so overwhelmed with the 100 new people in the chat. I really didn't, I forgot to play my music. I use background music sometimes, and today you're gonna barely be able to hear it, which is fine because I don't want it up too loud. I want you to be able to hear me. All right, let's listen to President Trump real quick. What President Trump said about the World Health Organization.
World Health Organization, while a review is conducted to assess the World Health Organization's role in severely mismanaging and covering up the spread of the coronavirus. Everybody knows what's going on there. American taxpayers provide between $400 million and $500 million per year to the WHO. In contrast, China contributes roughly $40 million a year and even less. As the organization's leading sponsor, the United States has a duty to insist on full accountability. One of the most dangerous and costly decisions from the WHO was its disastrous decision to oppose travel restrictions from China and other nations. They were very much opposed to what we...
You know what else happened too is China, when they started figuring out this virus, they restricted travel from Wuhan to other cities in China, but they left travel open to other cities in the world. That was even worse. And so anyway, here's the finish of his little statement here.
We did. Fortunately, I was not convinced and suspended travel from China, saving untold numbers of lives. Thousands and thousands of people would have died.
All right, so that's the quick take they had there. Good morning, Jay Wolf. I see you, brother. I see you. I see you. Well, you know what I remember? Now, the other day I asked this question. Before I move on, I asked this question because I thought it was Captain Kangaroo that used to say, and I see you, David, and you, Mary, and you, Melissa, and you, Linda, and you, Karen. No, that was Romper Room. Does anybody here remember Romper Room? That was the show where at the end of the show, now I don't even know if I saw it when it was new, when I was a kid, or if I was watching reruns. I don't remember. I don't know, because it was in black. I know it was in black and white, but then I was around when there was black and white TV. But I remember the lady at the end when she'd be saying hi to all the kids and she'd pointing at stuff. So anyway, all right. So President Trump is going to announce the halt of funding the WHO. Penny response. Now let's see the USA Today video here real quick. If it's gonna cop up here. Oh no, this is the whole. No, we're not gonna watch the whole thing. Anyway, so the media's losing their mind. And the WHO is out there being pissed off, and there's a whole bunch of look, let's just go through this, because I'm not going to really do a lot of Twitter trends today, but I did want to see this one. And the usual suspects right up top. And here's the talking point, because Jim Acosta, who is Talking Point Central for the DNC, pretty much. I mean, he might as well be their spokesman, because his questions on everything revolve around what the Democrats would say. And Jim Acosta, right at the top of the list here, says, as the world is fighting the coronavirus pandemic, Trump says the administration is halting U.S. funding to WHO pending a review. Oh, gosh, because they're doing so much right now. Now, look, here's the thing. The purpose of the WHO and what it does, which there's one part where I think the WHO, first of all, the WHO has plenty of money. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But the one thing that they do that's maybe fairly essential is they do health work in developing countries. So when something like this breaks out, they're in the countries that don't have the medical infrastructure, the medical talent that other parts of the world has, and they go out, they send, doctors and equipment and whatever to those parts of the world. That's absolutely valid. But also one of their missions is to stop things like this. And all the member nations that contribute to WHO are supposed to have this protocol for reporting things that happen to the WHO. And as we know, China, now I don't, at this point, okay, this shit's all over the world. I don't care where it came from. It seems like, and I don't know for a fact, but what it seems like is that this lab in Wuhan, this is not a man-made virus. They've already determined that it's not man-made. It actually came from some animal. And right now, the latest thing, they think it might have been a dog that ate some bat meat and whatever, developed this virus. But they don't know when it was developed or specifically where. It may be a thing where this lab in Wuhan, which studies things, now the thought is perhaps this was a virus that they had discovered in a bat, and they were trying to find vaccines or something to mitigate the possibility of this virus getting into humans, and it accidentally came out of the lab via a human and ended up infecting more people. And so that's the latest that someone's thought of. But I don't care at this point. What I care about is the fact that China
is asshole.
did not report this when they discovered it. They waited possibly an entire month before they notified the WHO, because there is evidence, and there's a Lancet article out there that I'm not going to show you right now, but there's a Lancet article out there that says they knew about this on December 6th, and in fact, they knew that there was human-to-human transmission on December 6th because the one person they found with it, their spouse was infected, and their spouse was never in that market that everyone was talking about. Oh, they've got it in the wet market. Someone was eating bat, blah, 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 blah. No, they figured out that there was human transmission known on December 6th. December 6th, okay? So anyway, but at this point, the WHO then, and I don't know if it's because the reporting from China was a lie, which I'm pretty sure it was.
China is asshole.
Or if it was the WHO that was just so hung up on not pissing off China or using them as being China's client state that they didn't tell. But I'm guessing that this investigation is going to end up showing that perhaps the WHO isn't at fault. That's my gut instinct, is that it's not that the WHO didn't tell us the truth. It's that China didn't tell the WHO the truth. Okay? And now they've been trying to cover for China ever since China's done everything right and yada, yada, yada. And that's the part where the WHO is pissing me off. They're so busy using China's propaganda and disseminating China's propaganda that what are they going to, what's going to happen if they tell the truth? Okay, what is going to happen if they say, okay, yeah, China kind of fucked up on this, they just kind of did. So, anyway, so, all right, so Acosta, fuck Jim Acosta. I should have saved him for tomorrow because FTG, right? Hi, Lindsay. Hi, RVA. Hello, Kessler. Hello. There's some new other people in here. I can't find you. I'll figure it out later. All right. So now, the other thing I wanted to do. So we know that Trump's doing that. Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to tell you read some of these other tweets. Manu Raju. Trump under fire for his handling of coronavirus, accuses WHO of covering up news about the spread of the virus. He says U.S. will halt funding for the organization while a review occurs. Everyone knows what's going on here. Yes, we know that. Manu Raju also says that Manu Raju is senior congressional correspondent for CNN. It's all CNN people. Trump has been president for more than 3 years and had been warned about potential of a pandemic. Again, blaming Obama now over ventilator shortages. This is the system we inherited. Well, isn't it? Were there ventilator shortages? Yeah. And also, the other thing is, as China's figuring this out, here's something else they did. The problem, it's not so much that there were ventilator shortages and PPE shortages. Before China made this really clear to the rest of the world how this is, is spreading from humans to humans faster than we can handle, China kind of suddenly bought up a huge supply of the world's PPEs. What are they called? The preventative something gear that they use, all the gowns and masks and whatever. They started quietly just stockpiling and having that shit shipped to them. And so even the companies that were selling this stuff, because they don't all communicate with each other, but they're sending all this shit to China. So now these companies are scrambling to make more for the entire world. It's not like just the United. See, this asshole Manu Raju talking about ventilator shortages. If it was just in the United States where this was happening, I would give them credit. I'd be like, yeah, wow, Trump is the only person in the world who fucked this up. But not really, because it's overwhelmed pretty much the entire world. Hi, Cryptic. How you doing? Personal protective equipment. Thank you. Hello, City Rochelle, one of my new followers. I'm glad you're here. Welcome back. I'm glad you came back. China was producing the shit and stopped shipping orders. Yeah, because they were stockpiling it themselves because they saw what was happening. All right. So the whole world's in the same boat, not just the United States. I get so freaking tired of them talking about, well, what did you do during February? Well, we were doing all kinds of stuff. I'm going to make a little list later, not today, but I'm making a little video about this, of what they do in February, because there's a whole White House website, YouTube channel that has every day they were out there talking about something. So obviously the United States was doing something during February, although the press, oh, you wasted 7 weeks. Well, let's get into that, because you know me, I love to talk about when someone says you had 3 months to prepare. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 months ago today was January 15th, 2020. Now, oh, wait, a couple more of these. Daniel Dale, Trump accuses WHO of severely mismanaging and covering up the coronavirus crisis. He says the U.S. has a duty to insist on full accountability. He criticized the WHO for opposing travel restrictions. He touts its own restrictions on China. Yeah, so anyway, these people are just kind of reporting. Oh, Yabicha Alcindor, though, I have to see what she has to say. President Trump is accusing WHO of what many have accused Trump of doing. He says the organization failed to identify the pandemic early, wasted time, took too long to declare it a public health emergency, and praised China for transparency. Note, Trump praised China for transparency on January 24th. Oh, did he now? Well, let's talk about what happened. That was January 24th, she says. January 24th. Yes, Sean, I do occasionally make videos. Occasionally. All right, let me find something here. What the hell's going on with my music? What the hell's going on? Why didn't that... Here, let me try this again. Come on. Play, damn it. All right, there you go. January 24th. I have something in a folder. Let me check my folders here. I'm pretty sure that I have something in a folder that, let's see. I have a special folder for strictly, let's see here, Corona file. It's in my Corona file. I have a Corona file. Did you know that? I have a Corona file. All right, in my Corona file, let's see. This is the New York Times. So what was the date she said? She said, I could have sworn she said January 24th, right? Let's take a quick look. Let me take a look. What date did she say? She said January. Okay, here it is. She says January 24th. Trump praised China's transparency on January 24th. Now that's not exactly what, that's not what he praised. I wish I could go find the exact quote. Oh, here it is. Okay, yes, he did. He said, China has been working very hard to contain the coronavirus. The United States graciously appreciates their efforts and transparency. It will all work out well. In particular, on behalf of the American people, I want to thank President Xi. January 24th. Well, that's a fascinating date, because on January 23rd, New York Times article by Denise Grady, the World Health Organization on Thursday decided not to declare the Wuhan coronavirus outbreak racist a global emergency, despite the spread of the dangerous respiratory infection from China to at least 5 other countries. Although the disease has reached beyond China, the number of cases in other countries is still relatively small, and the disease does not seem to be spreading within those countries, agency officials said. Of more than 800 cases now reported, the wide majority and all 25 deaths have been in China, according to Chinese officials. Quote, at this time, there is no evidence of human-to-human transmission outside China, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said. The WHO's general director said at a news conference in Geneva. That doesn't mean it won't happen, but hey, so what would you think the president would say the very next day after hearing this from Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, the head, or the general director of the WHO? Does that seem like a logical statement the next day to say, you know what, China's been working very hard to contain this? Because that's what Ghebreyesus said. Now, because that wasn't the only thing he said. They basically, Trump said, okay, looks like they got it under control. We know what's going on. There's no big danger here. So he says, China's been working very hard to contain the coronavirus. The United States greatly appreciates the efforts and transparency. It will all work out well. In particular, on behalf of the American people, I want to thank President Xi. Duh. Okay. Oh, she continues. President Trump says U.S. is pulling funding to WHO because the group praised China's transparency. Below is President Trump's tweet from January 24th praising China's transparency. Yep. Yes. The day after the WHO, or excuse me, the day after the New York Times printed what they said. So if the WHO praises China's transparency and he thinks, now his mistake, obviously, now we know his mistake. You know where I'm going with this. His mistake was trusting the WHO in the first place. If that's what you're saying, Yamiche Alcindor, you think? You got to look at in context to what was being said at the time. They take these quotes without talking about the situation on the date of the quote. And they are full of shit.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
So, now, granted, he probably doesn't remember the quote he did, but there's a reason you say things on certain dates that you wouldn't say on a different date. For example, the day before the Super Bowl, you could say, I hope the San Francisco 49ers win. The day after the Super Bowl, you could say, I'm happy for the Chiefs for winning the Super Bowl. Well, wait a minute. The day before the Super Bowl, you said, I hope the 49ers win. Yeah, but this is the day after the Super Bowl. I would have liked the San Francisco 49ers to win, but I'm happy for the Chiefs that they won the Super Bowl. There's nothing, you have to go with the context of the statement and the date and the happenings that day and the events that were happening during and prior to that date. So, fuck off. All right. Now let's talk about a couple things the WHO did in January, because someone tried to throw this in my face talking about, well, you should have known the WHO warned us of this virus. Well, yeah, they said, oh, you should be very careful with any upper respiratory disease. You know, bronchitis is a respiratory disease. If the WHO said that there was something, that you could get bronchitis from doing something, are we going to shut down the country for it? So just because they said and coronaviruses are not new. By the way, coronavirus has become this really scary term because a lot of people have never heard of it. But there's all types of coronaviruses, and most of them are not even severe. Most are not deadly. Some forms of the common cold could be a coronavirus. So the experts on, some medical expert here is, okay, there's a new coronavirus. We're not sure the nature of it, but we're keeping track of it. And we're studying it, and hopefully we haven't found any evidence of human to human transmission. Well, are you gonna shit your pants over that? I don't think so. But so the fact that they warned us about a new excuse me. By the way, I do have my cup of reparations coffee here, the gangster rap cup today, and it's delicious. Okay. So here's WHO. Here's one from January 9th. Okay, after it had been, China had notified the WHO, and they put out this piece of travel advice on January 10th, 2020. We're going to go through it. Here we go. WHO advice for international travel and trade in relation to the outbreak of pneumonia caused by a new coronavirus in China. So they were still calling it pneumonia, they caused pneumonia on January 10th. And in fact, what's funny about this, because, until January 31st and Trump started calling it the China virus or Wuhan virus, everyone was calling it the Wuhan coronavirus. In China, all the Chinese news outlets were calling it the Wuhan they were calling it the Wuhan pneumonia before they started COVID-19. So that's just a fun fact for all those who are worried about being called racist for saying China virus. All right, now here it is, December 30th. Here's the WHO notification on the 10th of January. On 31 December 2019, a cluster of pneumonia of unknown etiology was reported from Wuhan City, Hubei province of China. On January 9th, Chinese authorities reported in the media that the case of this viral pneumonia was initially identified as a new type of coronavirus, which is different from any other human coronaviruses discovered so far. Coronaviruses are a large family of respiratory viruses that can cause diseases ranging from the common cold to Middle East respiratory syndrome, which is MERS, and the severe acute respiratory syndrome, also known as SARS. The clinical signs and symptoms of the patients reported in this cluster are mainly fever, with a few patients having difficulty in breathing, and chest radiographs showing bilateral lung infiltrates. Some cases were operating dealers or vendors in Huanan seafood market. From the currently available information, preliminary investigation suggests that there is no significant human-to-human transmission and no infections among healthcare workers that have occurred. More information is required to better understand the mode of transmission and clinical manifestation of this new virus. The source of this new virus is yet unknown. So, if you're getting that information, does this tell you that you're going to have a pandemic declared on March 16th? What should you have known about this other than this is happening? Doesn't sound real severe, does it? Doesn't talk about, grueling deaths or anything, does it? Pretty simple. This is their notification. Now, they're notified based on the information they know as of January 10th, 2020. It continues though. Listen to this. International travelers, practice usual precautions. Well, Johnny, what are the usual precautions? While the cause of the pneumonia seems to be novel coronavirus, transmission potential and modes of transmission remain unclear. Therefore, it would be prudent to reduce the general risk of acute respiratory infections while traveling in and from the affected areas, currently Wuhan City, by... Now, wait a minute. Traveling in or from the affected areas? Oh, so we can keep traveling in and from the affected areas. Huh, that's why they didn't shut down travel. Here are the steps that they say you should take. These are the precautions you should take. 1. Avoiding close contact with people suffering from acute respiratory infections. Oh, okay. 2. Frequent hand washing, especially after direct contact with ill people or their environment. Oh, okay. Number 3, avoiding close contact with live or dead farm or wild animals. Well, I'm pretty sure that if I'm traveling to China or anywhere else, I'm probably going to avoid close contact with live or dead farm or wild animals. That's not what I'd be going to China for. But anyway, and number 4, travelers with symptoms of acute respiratory infection should practice cough etiquette, maintain distance, cover coughs and sneezes with disposable tissues or clothing, and wash hands. Oh, so it's still okay for people to travel if you have these acute respiratory infections as of January 10th? Wow, doesn't seem that all that serious now, does it? They and the big thing is, they warned you in January. The intelligence people knew in January. They knew in November. They knew this and that. They didn't know shit in January. And this makes it perfectly clear. But wait, there's more. Healthy practitioners and public health authorities should provide travelers information to reduce the general risk of acute respiratory infections via travel health clinics, travel agencies, conveyance operators, and at points of entry. So they say, you might do some minor screening at points of entry. If a traveler on board an aircraft or ship has signs of and symptoms indicative of acute respiratory infections, the Model of Maritime Declaration of Health, Annex 8 of IHR, or the health part of the Aircraft General Declaration, Annex 9 of IHR, can be used to register the health information on board and submit a POE to submit to POE health authorities when required by a state party. Oh, so yeah, you should just notify somebody. Someone might just have an upper respiratory infection. You just know. Now, I'm going to skip this paragraph because it's just more of the same. And then finally, international traffic. No restrictions recommended. Wuhan City is a major domestic and international transport hub. Yeah, that's where a lot of China's international flights go through and come from. In fact, Northern Italy knows that better than anybody right now, don't they? Currently, there are no reports of cases outside of Wuhan City. Given the heavy population movements expected to significantly increase during the Chinese New Year, yeah, the Chinese New Year was coming up, remember? In the last week of January, the risk of cases being reported from somewhere else is increased. Shocker. WHO does not recommend any specific health measures for travelers. It's generally considered that entry screening offers little benefit while requiring considerable resources. Oh my gosh, it's just too many resources. In case of symptoms suggestive to respiratory illness before, during, and after travel, the travelers are encouraged to seek medical attention and share travel history with their healthcare provider. WHO advises against the application of any travel or trade restrictions on China. God, no, we wouldn't want to restrict any. But then again, the WHO didn't know shit about this on January 10th. So how could they have warned anybody? See, people are saying, they were warning you in January. No, the WHO wasn't warning anybody in January. This is as mild a warning as you could ever get on January 10th. Just 3 months and 5 days ago. Oh, you should have known 3 months ago. You should have known in December. Bullshit. Stop saying that. And then finally, as provided by International Health Regulations, 2005, IHR, countries should ensure that 1. Routine measures to train staff, appropriate space, and stockpile adequate equipment in place at points of entry. At points of entry, meaning thermometers. Not the adequate equipment for assessing and managing ill travelers detected before travel, on board conveyances such as planes and ships, and on arrivals at ports of entry. Procedures and means are in place for communicating information on ill travelers between conveyances and points of entry, blah, 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 blah. Safe transportation of symptomatic travelers to hospitals, designated facilities, clinical assessment, blah, 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 blah. Fuck off.
How dare you?
So that's January 10th. Oh, you should have known 3 months ago. 3 months ago was January 15th, 2020. Just FYI. Should have known in December. Really? If this was what they're writing on January 10th, do you think we knew about this, how bad this could get in December? No. This is as mild a warning as they could possibly give. Now, let's look at January 23rd. It's a little different, but not much. And let's just say this. Statement on the meeting of International Health Regulations Emergency Committee regarding the outbreak of novel coronavirus. Oh, they named it now. 2019 NCOV. Huh. Now they changed that to SARS 2019 NCOV, but whatever. The meeting of the Emergency Committee convened by the WHO Director General under International Health Regulations, blah, blah, blah. This just tells you what the meeting has. Here's the proceedings. The director welcomed some people and thanked them for their support. Turned the meeting over to Chair Professor Didier Hussein. Hussein also welcomes the committee, yada, yada. Okay, this is all mindless stuff. Here we go. Let's just go to the conclusions and advice. My husband likes you, and you get 2 thumbs up from him. Awesome. Thank you, Cindy. Okay. Okay, here's the conclusions they came up with. This emergency committee regarding the outbreak of novel. January 23rd. On 22nd of January, the members of the emergency committee expressed divergent views on whether this event constitutes a FIAC, and I'm not sure what this is. FIAC is what's called a public health emergency of international concern. So that's what a FIAC is. Constitutes a FIAC or not. At the time, the advice was that the event did not constitute a FIAC. What's the date of this? January 23rd. What was the date that the president praised China for their transparency? January 24th. Let's continue. But the committee members agreed on the urgency of the situation and suggested that the committee should be reconvened in a matter of days to examine the situation further. After the announcement of the new containment measures in Wuhan on the 22nd of January, the Director General asked the Emergency Committee to reconvene on 23rd of January to study the information provided by Chinese authorities about the most recent epidemiological, thank you. I have to get my Joe Bidens out. Information that revealed an increase in the number of cases of suspected cases of affected provinces and the proportion of deaths in currently reported cases of 4%, 17 of 557. They reported 4th generation cases in Wuhan and 2nd generation cases outside Wuhan, as well as some clusters outside Hubei province. So it was starting to spread in China on the 22nd. They explained that strong containment measures, strongly. That's like Trump likes to use that word, strongly or strong, whatever. Strong containment measures, closures of public transportation systems, are in place in Wuhan City, as well as other nearby cities. As after this presentation, the executive committee was informed about the evolution in Japan, Republic of Korea, Thailand, and that one new possible case has been identified in Singapore. So now it has spread to 5 countries on January 23rd. Now, little did we know in the United States that someone had traveled from Wuhan to Seattle, and their first case was also right around that time that they discovered it, around the 23rd. Or maybe that was, I think they discovered the case on the 20th, so I don't know why they haven't mentioned the United States. But here it says 5, it was in 5 countries. The committee welcomed efforts made. Now, the committee welcomed efforts by China to investigate and contain the current outbreak. I wonder if they were transparent. Just saying. The following elements were considered as critical. Human-to-human transmission is occurring. And preliminary RO estimates of 1.4 to 2.5 was presented, whatever that means. Amplification has occurred in one healthcare facility. Of confirmed cases, 25% are reported to be severe. The source is still unknown, most likely an animal reservoir, and the extent of human-to-human transmission is still not clear. It's not clear. We better shut down the country then. What if this is a mild flu like H1N1 turned out to be? See where I'm going? Several members considered that it's still too early to declare a PAWG, which is, again, it's up here, a public health emergency of international concern. Now, notice, too, a public health emergency of international concern, even that's not their highest designation here. The highest designation is a pandemic, which they did not announce or did not declare it a pandemic until March 11th. Almost a full 2 months later. So anyway, in the face of evolving epidemiological situation and the restricted binary nature of declaring a PAWG or not, WHO considered a more nuanced. The WHO should consider a more nuanced system, which would allow an intermediate level of alert. Such a system would better reflect the severity of an outbreak, its impact, and the required measures, and would facilitate improved international coordination, including research efforts for developing medical countermeasures. They're not doing shit yet. They're not doing shit. So here and now, here's their statement to the People's Republic of China. 1. Provide more information on cross-government risk management measures, including crisis management systems at national, provincial, and city levels, and other domestic measures. Enhance rational public health measures for containment and mitigation of the current outbreak. Enhance surveillance and active case findings across China, particularly during the Chinese New Year celebration. They were still going to have it. Collaborate with WHO and partners to conduct investigations to understand the epidemiology, I can't say that word, and the evolution of this outbreak, including specific investigations to understand the source of the novel coronavirus, notably the animal reservoir and animals involved in the zoonotic transmission, as well as the understanding of its full potential for human-to-human transmission, where transmission is taking place, the clinical features associated with infection, and the required treatment to reduce morbidity and mortality. Continue to share full data on all cases with WHO, including genome sequences and details of any healthcare workers' infections or clusters, which they were already having. Conduct exit screening at international airports and ports in affected provinces. Notice that you're not saying restrict travel yet. Oh my God. Let's see. Conduct exit screening at international airports and ports in the affected provinces with the aims of early detection of symptomatic travelers to further evaluation treatment. While minimizing interference with international traffic. So they're still talking about minimizing the interference with international traffic. So just keep traveling. It's all good. So obviously on January 23rd, there is no urgency to restrict any kind of travel whatsoever. Encourage screening at domestic airports, railway stations, and long-distance bus stations if necessary or as necessary. And then to the other countries. That would be us and everybody in, all the 190 whatever freaking countries this is happening in now. To other countries. It is expected that further international exportation of cases may appear in any country. Thus, all countries should be prepared for containment, including active surveillance, early detection, isolation, and case management, contact tracing, and prevention of onward spread of 2019 nCoV infection, and to share full data with the WHO. Countries are required to share information with WHO according to the IHR. Technical advice is available here. They have a link. Countries should place particular emphasis on reducing human infection, prevention of secondary transmission, and international spread. It was already too late. And yes, even the travel restrictions on December 31st to China and later to Europe and to the UK. Unfortunately, all these people were traveling not knowing they have it because they didn't figure out the human-to-human transmission was taking so long. Or it was an invisible enemy, as the president likes to say. It's the invisible enemy because it doesn't show up for several days. And some people doesn't show up at all. They have no symptoms, but they're still shedding the disease. So that's, and then to the global community. To the global community. Well, I'll do it in my best NPR voice. To the global community. As this is a new coronavirus, and it has been previously shown that similar coronaviruses are required substantial efforts for regular information sharing and research, the global community should continue to demonstrate solidarity and cooperation in compliance with Article 44 of the IHR 2005 in supporting each other on the identification of the source of this new coronavirus, its full potential for human-to-human transmission, and preparedness for potential importation of cases and research for developing necessary treatment. The Director General thanked the committee for its advice. So, you should have known 3 months ago, right? Bullshit. Anyway, so that's we're gonna spend a little time in the WHO the next few days because there's someone who is compiling a bunch of their notices for me in theory, and so I'm probably only do one a day. But that's with the WHO. But oh wait, I mentioned earlier that this funding freeze, so to speak, by the president. Now look, this funding freeze by the president, you got to remember, WHO already has our money from this year or whatever we contribute. It's not like you just, it's gradual and we're doling it out in waves. No, we've already given them the money for this year. But we certainly could freeze any consideration of other funding, right? And I said earlier that the WHO has plenty of money, right? Well. In fact, World Health Organization blew almost $192 million on travel, according to a report. The World Health, what's the date of this article? This is from May 20th, 2019. The World Health Organization spent nearly $192 million on travel expenses last year, with staffers sometimes breaking the agency's own rules by traveling in business class, booking expensive last-minute tickets, and traveling without the required approvals, according to internal documents obtained by the Associated Press. The abuses could spook potential donors and partners as the organization begins its week-long annual meeting Monday in Geneva. This is from last year, seeking increased support to fight a devastating outbreak of Ebola in Congo and other deadly diseases, including polio, malaria, and measles. The nearly $192 million is down 4% from 2017, when the agency pledged to rein in travel abuses following an AP investigation. So they did tighten up the wall a little bit. But recent documents show WHO auditors found some WHO staffers were still brazenly misrepresenting the reasons for their travel to exploit loopholes in the organization's policies and flying business class, which can be several times more expensive than economy, even though they did not meet the criteria to do so. Okay, I'm not even going to read anymore. Let's just say that they were wasting some money. They're wasting some of the dollars. And, we gave them $500 million or average $500 million a year to the WHO. Ha! Now, it very well could be money well spent, especially if you are actually helping people in developing countries. I don't have a problem with that. My problem is with the WHO is they need to get their shit together. And if they got bad information from China, they need to be investigating that instead of kissing China's ass at every turn. Okay? And again, it's not about the Chinese people. It's about the Chinese government.
China is asshole.
All right, moving on. Enough of this. Enough. Now, yesterday I also mentioned that I was going to show you a map that I found very, very interesting. And it's this heat map or this climate map. And so this is Global Virus Network. And they're mapping out. Let me see if I can get this on the screen properly. There we go. That'll fit there. Let me maybe do this better. No, it'll be this better. All right, let's go here. We'll use this map. That'll work. All right, so this is from the Global Virus Network. Enhanced model for monitoring zones of increased risk of COVID-19 spread. Now, here's the world map that they put up here. And you're going to notice something interesting. All the countries with the most cases of this coronavirus all kind of line up in this yellow and green area. So you got Wuhan, China, which is right here. You can see my cursor moving around there. There's places where it's spread going this way. Now, South Korea is down here somewhere, okay? And Japan is over here, which remember, everyone keeps talking about, oh, yeah, South Korea, did such a better job. We had the first case the same day. Well, there's a couple things. They're very different from us culturally in that social distancing is kind of already a practice in South Korea. Okay. Not a lot of handshaking, huggy type places like Northern Italy where they hug and kiss everybody in Northern Italy. Okay. So they're going to, obviously spread things a lot quicker, especially these type of transmittable viral infections. But also they're they're in this zone down here in the red. The hot spots are here. Here is European Union right in here, Italy, Spain, Germany, France, Netherlands, UK right there. That's a hot spot. What zone is it in? This yellow green climate zone. I'm not sure. This is I can't really tell. Oh, Iran right in here. Okay, northern Iran is right in there. You got New York City right here in this green and yellow zone. You got Washington State. You got California still in the yellow orange zone. Detroit, Michigan is in the green area right there. Okay, so here it is. Enhanced. This is from March 10th. Scientists affiliated with the Global Virus Network, worldwide coalition of preeminent virologists engaged in preparedness, defense, and first research response in emerging and existing unidentified viruses that pose a clear and present threat to public health, have determined that temperature and latitude may have a direct link to the spread of seasonality of COVID-19. The analysis was conducted by Drs. Mohammed A. Sahada, MD, and Anthony Amoroso, MD, in conjunction with the Institute of Human Virology at the University of Maryland and Global Virus Network. Their paper, Temperatures and Latitude Analysis to Predict Potential Spread and Seasonality for COVID-19, has been made publicly available at the whatever something site. So, yeah, fascinating. And notice, most of the United States covers this zone, the hot spots. Now, Denver or Colorado is starting to see a little more activity, but even Texas is in this, and it has to do with not just temperature, but average humidity. And so this yellow and green zone, it seems like all the worst places in the world are in it, particularly France, Spain, Italy. Now, Germany's in this spot, but their cases are just starting to grow. England's cases are just starting to grow. So that's I found that fascinating, and I thought I would point that out. All right, next up. Let's see. We're gonna do. Let's talk about endorsements because we did. Whoa, what was that? Okay, that's something that I did not want. I see. There's an ad on here. All right. And just a reminder, the Morning Night Live is sponsored by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Support this show with your donations. To have your super chats read live on the show, click the link there in the chat or in the description down below. All right. Let's. You know what? I just have a few random articles. This is one coronavirus. I'll do a couple quick ones here. One, Rita Wilson, who is the spouse of Tom Hanks. Where the hell to go? Here it is. Now, this is interesting. So Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson found out that they had this COVID-19 or coronavirus while they were in Australia. And so they were under quarantine in Australia for a while. Well, apparently, Rita Wilson was given chloroquine. And that's okay. But, and so she's back here. And now she's out here. Now, remember, these guys they're big time Democrats and they don't like the president. And so she comes back and she's warning people that she experienced extreme side effects after taking chloroquine. Well, one of those extreme side effects is that she's still alive. But anyway, I digress. Rita Wilson, who announced she had contracted the coronavirus with her husband Tom Hanks last month, warned that taking chloroquine, a drug that has been touted by the White House as a game changer, caused her extreme side effects. The couple has since recovered from their infection that was reported on March 11th after quarantining in Australia, where they were diagnosed with the illness. Hanks cited milder symptoms than Wilson, who was given chloroquine for her treatment, according to the Hollywood Reporter. How convenient that we have someone that, she's alive, though. That's the thing. Whatever. Let's see. Wilson said she was not sure if the drug worked or if her fever broke naturally. Well, okay. However, regardless of whether the drug worked, she said she thinks wait a minute. She thinks it caused extreme side effects that made her nauseous, dizzy, and weakened in her muscles. You know what else can cause that? Having a fever for 3 or 4 days can cause that too. Oh my God. Jonas Peterson, by the way, hi again. Paid for celebrity opinions. I'm just telling you. She added that people have to be very considerate about that drug. We don't really know if it's helpful in this case. Really? Really? Ms. Wilson? Really? Wow. Let me just run something by you, Rita Wilson. I know you watch the show. Hey, Rita Wilson, here's something to think about. I'm pretty sure you took that under a prescription from a doctor who probably was monitoring what was going on with you, right? And since this drug has been around for almost 80 years and has been researched in conjunction with many other products not having to do with this coronavirus, and many other diseases not having to do with this coronavirus, I think they're pretty sure that they have an entire list of possible side effects of the drug because it has been around for 80 years. And so if they had a commercial on TV, you know how they have the drug commercials on TV all the time? If they had a commercial for chloroquine on TV to say in like something like, ask your doctor if you should try chloroquine. Side effects include nauseous, rickets, shingles, toenail fungus, and slight cases of nausea and headache. I bet the doctors already fucking know that. By the way, those aren't the known side effects of chloroquine. And here's the thing. When I went to Nigeria in 2004, and this chloroquine is the drug I took before I went to Nigeria. I had to take 3 times, 1 week at a time, before going to Nigeria. And apparently it lasts in your body 40 days, and it can help you, ward off the effects of malaria. You don't really not get malaria, but the drug treats malaria, right? But if you take it in advance, then you don't have the symptoms. And I remember distinctly the doctor saying to me, now, if you have any type of blurred vision, you need to call us right away and let us know, because you might be having one of those side effects of chloroquine. So that's how I remembered that this is the drug I took. I went and looked it up. This is the drug I took before I went to Nigeria, chloroquine. And one of the side effects is possible blurred vision. So they know, the doctors already know the side effects of this drug. It's been around for 80 years. It's very well documented. So yes, you might have had a side effect, Rita Wilson. But they probably already knew the possibility of that side effect. Good God. Anyway, E. Michael. That's a name that's new. Hello, how are you? I'm glad you're here. All right. Adam Richard also. I haven't said hi yet. I'm trying to say hi to people, but I don't catch everybody. Good morning. All right, moving on. Now this is going to be a little more random. FBI. Oh, remember when the SEIU, the union out in California, said that they found 39 million masks, and apparently it was in a warehouse somewhere. Well, apparently they got scammed. FBI exposes coronavirus scam after 39 million masks promised from overseas failed to reach California hospitals. Now, fortunately, none of this has ramped up nearly as bad as we were expecting. So the idea that they're running out of PPEs or ventilator stuff hasn't really happened. Even in New York City, yeah, they ran close to short, but they, the extra ones they had in warehouses were enough so far. They never end up having like 30,000 they needed in New York or whatever. But anyway, the FBI uncovered an international coronavirus-fueled fraud scheme after more than 39 million masks promised to a powerful California union representing healthcare workers were never delivered to hospitals and other medical groups in the state, according to a report published Saturday. Service Employees International Union United Healthcare Workers West announced on March 26th it had identified a distributor overseas who was willing to sell 39 million critically needed N95 masks, a press release said. The union said it secured the deal after 48 hours, calling leads and potential suppliers to help find personal protective equipment for healthcare workers on the front lines of the crisis. An unidentified businessman in Pittsburgh reportedly was helping the union contact a broker in Australia and a distributor in Kuwait on WhatsApp to secure the deal. U.S. Attorney Scott Brady of the Western District of Pennsylvania told the Los Angeles Times, "We believe we disrupted the fraud. We believe we disrupted fraud," Brady said. "We are seeing fraud in every variation, but mostly in respect to N95 masks. We have an anxious public and resources are strained." As a part of the deal, Kaiser Permanente said they had planned to purchase 6 million masks. Sutter health officials also placed an order for 2 million masks, the Times reported. Meanwhile, SEIU 121RN, Southern California's Union of Registered Nurses, launched an online petition accusing hospitals who did not agree to take part in the deal of putting bottom line profits over your safety. Now, remember so these masks, when you buy them by the whatever box or case or whatever they come in, they were coming in at about $1.10 to $1.20 per mask. And the SEIU were going to sell these 39 million masks to California hospitals for $5 a piece. They said they had no financial interest in the transactions. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not so sure about that. But anyway, unfortunately, it is unfortunate that they got scammed here. It kind of sucks. As Steve Schrossman, spokesman for SEIU, said, as far as we knew, we had legitimate masks. The people who are going to purchase those masks were going to fully vet it and check it out and do their due diligence. Well, Unfortunately, the due diligence didn't help. Now, did it? Here's a nice CNN article. Almost 30% in the United States believe now it's funny. Okay, so this is CNN. They're nearly 30% of this is a CNN article. So take it with a full salt lick of salt for all I care, because this is CNN. Nearly 30% in the U.S. believe a coronavirus theory that's almost certainly not true. What? Isn't that a definitive headline? That's almost certainly not true. Is that like moderately confident or highly confident? Hey, honey, I heard from your friend that you were thinking about leaving me. Oh dear, that's almost certainly not true. Despite evidence from infectious disease experts suggesting otherwise, really? Okay, nearly 30% of Americans in a new poll said they believe the novel coronavirus was likely created in a lab. Okay, out of curiosity, because I likely created in a lab or came from a lab. Because, like I said, it is possible that the lab in Wuhan was studying a virus they discovered, and maybe we're trying to come up with a vaccination for it, because they were discovering these different fruit bats, and that is something that's known. Not that this has happened, but that they did discover some new they've discovered new viruses in animals all the time. And so they have to study them to make sure that they're not transferable to humans and whatnot. And it is possible that it came from this lab. Not as a human produced weapon, but just as something they might have been studying. Okay. And there are more reports that you hear about that's a possibility. Okay. So maybe it's because there have been articles about that some people think it might have been created in the lab and not just been studied in the lab. But whatever. This is according to a new poll. The latest poll from the Public Opinion Fact Tank shows that misinformation around the virus is still king, even as fact checkers and public health officials work furiously to dispel it and save American lives. Yeah, the fact checkers at CNN, then you know to disregard. A total of 23% of adults polled said they believe the virus was created intentionally. No, that's not 30%. 23%. Okay. This is almost again. This is almost certainly not true. What do you mean almost? What the fuck? Almost? It's almost certainly not true? Oh my gosh, these people are stupid. Anyway, it's just and the origin is up for debate, but was it made in the lab? Okay. It wasn't made in a lab. Could it still have come from that lab? Possibly. I don't know. Right now I don't care where it came from. I just don't want to get it, and I want less people to die from it, and I want to be able to live a normal life. How's that sound? But they want to Alex Jones this up. They want to make it sound like, oh, everyone has a conspiracy theory. Don't turn the frogs gay. Whatever. Anyway, but here's the part that I love the best. Previous pandemics didn't unfold in an era when information travels faster than a virus. The COVID-19 pandemic has given way to what the World Health Organization called an infodemic. Inaccurate information about the virus. Well, World Health Organization, some of the initial misinformation about the virus came from you. Congratulations, you're a winner of the misinformation war. Now this one, I don't understand this one, but take the conspiracy that 5G networks are somehow linked to the coronavirus. I don't get that. It started as a fringe theory among New Agers, and oh, this is the purpose of the article. This sentence is why they wrote this article and why they did it, okay? Take the conspiracy theory that 5G networks are somehow linked to the coronavirus. It started as a fringe theory among New Agers and QAnon followers. Oh, you're singling out the Q people, who I think are retarded anyway, but because it's funny because if you ever notice the Q people, they don't really predict anything, but they pick up on things really quick. So if there's an article about this, that they're like, oh yeah, we knew about this, but I don't know. Anyway, soon it ended with up on celebrities' Instagram accounts, and Twitter published at least 2 moments debunking it. Twitter and other social networking apps are tightening up as a result. Oh, and this is the other purpose of this is to get Twitter and the other social media outlets to stop letting you talk about shit. It's one of their tactics. And they do it a lot. And there it is. Twitter and other social media network apps are tightening up as a result. WhatsApp, a Facebook-owned messaging service, is limiting the number of times a message can be forwarded to a user in efforts to keep conspiracies from infiltrating multiple groups at a time. Social media services now show buffer messages on the top of search pages that warn users of misinformation. I don't have a problem with that, but God, don't start censoring people. Kim Scott, I think you're talking about me. Well, if you're a Q person, I'm not, I listen to some of the stuff that comes out of Q, and it always seems to be stuff that has already been done. It's never predictive. So that's the only reason. I don't want to disparage you if you're a Q person, but but yeah, they wanted to talk about Q people and conspiracy theories because the conspiracy theories only come from the right. Russiagate. Anyway, hey, here's a good article from Business and Politics. Hey, now this is right up my alley. Entitled "Mainstream Media in America truly is an enemy of the people." It can be. This is an op-ed. Oh, this is an op-ed by someone named John R. Smith. I submit for your reading pleasure the notion that perhaps the greatest enemy facing the American public today is a mainstream media and press that has become corrupt beyond belief.
How dare you?
Sorry. Anyway, the broad media in America is always trying to divide us. Yes, they are. There'll be a lot of bells in this one. They delight in keeping people at each other's throats, and scaring us. They figure out the best way to have the great public eyeball continuing to return to their print pages or broadcast screens, known as clickbait. The American mainstream media is the world's greatest player of gotcha blame game.
How dare you?
Whoops. That was supposed to be this. This is how the broadcast, MSM in particular, has polarized America in their continuing search to find fault and blame, almost always towards the president. That last part was my part. Many reporters' questions to Donald Trump, for example, are not designed to illuminate an issue. The intent is to undermine the president. Journalists do not understand that sometimes circumstances are unpredictable, causing errors or disasters, and that some group or some political party or some individual is not to blame. Instead, commentators feast on destroying reputations and personal credibility. Don't believe me? Listen to the questions asked by the talking heads on news outlets like CNN, MSNBC, and other leftist media outlets. Over 90% of their news coverage of Donald Trump is negative, much of it arising from disingenuous, dishonest commentary and questions asked by MSM news hosts. These media people are fanatical and rabid over their personal campaigns to find fault with everything American and blame conservatives. There is no shame among the biased reporter who accused Trump of pushing grandma under the bus and killing World War II vets just to juice the Dow. The media bristles at the term fake news, but they bristle because they know it's accurate. Deep down, some of these so-called journalists know it's true. Others will never admit it because their hyper-partisanship has blinded their mental outlook. Gosh, I might be sick of this bell today. Many folks on the right would like to sue the press for lying to us for decades. Ask yourself who you trust more to tell you the truth, the American political commentators or the Trump White House. Polls say, to the extent polls can be trusted, that more Americans trust Trump than the national media. Not only that, 2/3 of those polled believe 75% of social media news is biased or inaccurate. Fewer than 1 in 10 state they respect Congress. A loss of confidence of both television news and newspapers has declined by over 10 percentage points in the last decade, down to about 20% for each group. Culminating in the coronavirus, most everything has changed in this world over the past couple of years, except the biased media. January, the media did not criticize and did not question the virus and misinformation, lies, and stonewalling coming from out of China, thus failing to give us any information early on. When it became obvious that communist China was lying, the media avoided condemning them and failed to call China's hand when it accused the U.S. of causing the virus outbreak in China. Instead, the press blamed it on the president. Yeah, that's all they've done. The leftist media even poo-pooed the seriousness of the virus. Here's a Washington Post headline in late January, quote, "Why we should be wary of an aggressive government response to coronavirus." Another on February 1st, "Get a grip, America. The flu is much bigger threat than coronavirus for now." The American institutional media truly has become the enemy of the people. They withhold the truth or bury it on the back page or deep into the article half the time. You'll read a headline that's sensational, and about 15 paragraphs in, they'll say, but this and this and that, which completely negate the idea of the headline. They whitewash it or ignore good news coming from conservative politicians and instead create false news items to undermine them. The New York Times has become infamous for writing articles that take the news and add their own editorial opinions, manufacturing their own versions of the news, twisting the truth to fit their political agenda by bashing their news on other news that was false. Basing their news on other news that was false. Finally, tell me where the legitimate mainstream journalists who should be deeply embarrassed what their occupation has become. Well, it seems like Chris Cuomo might have done that because he said something the other day on his podcast that made it sound like he was just tired of being this mouthpiece kind of thing, although he denied it later, even though it was on tape and you could play it back for him. Why do too many of them stay silent? Perhaps they fear they will be fired by bosses who were trained in the socialist journalism schools of the 1960s to hate American businesses, the military, and conservative thinking. All right. I'll even give that a bell. All right. 10:22. Okay. I'm not doing too bad. Let's talk about endorsements real quick, and then we're going to get out of here. So Elizabeth Warren, let's see if she's trending. She's not even, it's funny. She's not even trending. And neither is, oh, well, yeah, he is trending. I'm going to find Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren. Here we go. So, first of all, let's start here. Yesterday, Barack Obama, and finally, after pretty much every other Democrat has already done it, and after Joe Biden was the last person in the race, Barack Obama finally comes out yesterday and endorses Joe Biden. Now, here, let's find Barack Obama here. Let's see if there's endorsements on the old Twitter headline here, because, well, I was going to play it. I'm running out of time, though. I'm not going to play it. But anyway, and of course, the Washington Post the next day, opinion, Barack Obama reminds us how normal presidents sound. Well, I don't need a normal president right now. Thank you, Washington Post. And all the people who are bitching about Donald Trump saying, yes, I have total authority and I have this power and that, seem to forget that Barack Obama had a phone and a pen. Anyway, but So Barack Obama finally endorses Joe Biden. And then Elizabeth Warren comes out and steals his thunder the next day. So what everyone should have been talking about today, Barack Obama finally endorsing Biden, Elizabeth Warren. And here's Elizabeth Warren's. Here's this. I am going to play hers because I want to see what she says here. But here's what she tweeted. In this moment of crisis, it's more important than ever that the next president restores Americans' faith in good, effective government. And I've seen Joe Biden help our nation rebuild. Today, I'm proud to endorse Joe Biden as the president of the United States. You want a beer, honey? No? Oh, well, I think I'll have a beer. Anyway, here's Elizabeth Warren. Hopefully I can stand listening through this. Here we go. Cindy, I'm voting for the other Biden. Very good. Here it is.
He grew up on the ragged edge of the middle class in Scranton.
Oh, humble beginnings.
He committed to public service early in life and never stopped.
Committed to public service. Oh my God, he's been in government for 40 years.
Serving. And he's faced unspeakable tragedy.
Now that is sad. He lost his son early in his life. He lost his wife, his first wife. He lost his son Bo in the last several years. Very sad. I absolutely felt bad for Biden when his son Bo died. That was a tragedy.
And grace. And these experiences animate the empathy he extends to Americans who are struggling, no matter what their story.
Except, you know what? If he can remember, I remember when he was in Iowa, he was campaigning, and the heavyset fellow asked him it was a pointed question, but it was just, a question that he should have been answering with grace, no matter what the story. And Biden's like, let me tell you something, fat. Hey, fat. He had a Tourette's moment, or I should just say a Biden moment. Was that what she said? What were the words she used? Americans who are struggling, no matter what their story, and with grace. Well, let me tell you, fat.
Empathy matters.
Empathy matters. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, fat. Or how about?
You're a lying dog face pony soldier.
No. Is that empathy? No.
Moment of crisis, it is more important than ever that the next president restores Americans' faith in good, effective government.
Holy shit. Did she just use a complete and utter oxymoron? Good, effective. Okay. I don't know. Is my local government good, effective government? I suppose it's possible. But our good, effective... Okay, never mind. I'm just going to keep going.
Joe Biden has spent nearly his entire life in public service.
Right! Which means he has no sense of reality when it comes to living life outside of the public service. Kind of like Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, no idea what it's like to have a business or just have a job where you just go and do your thing and get your paycheck and then you enjoy your life outside of the government. No, Joe Biden's been in the government for 40 years. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I tend to lean towards the latter. Anyway.
He knows that a government run with integrity, competence, and heart will save lives and save livelihoods.
Yes.
And we can't afford to let Donald Trump continue to endanger the lives and livelihoods of every American.
Fascinating. The lives and livelihoods of every American. We were doing pretty good until this virus thing came around, right? More people were working. Fewer people were unemployed. Wages were rising for the first time in over a decade. Joe Biden, who is that? Well, hang on a second. Joe Biden was part of that administration just before Donald Trump. Now, were they a decent placeholder? Did they at least stabilize the economy? You could say they might with the help of Congress and whatever. Yeah, okay. But it kind of started happening for real with a few policies that changed after January 20th, 2017. And, it took about a year, 9 months to a year to really take off because the policy started changing. Now, this virus obviously has caused us many, many problems. But hey, I don't know. Oh, I didn't even notice the look here. Holy shit. Well, that was a good place to stop it. All right, let's continue with this.
And that's why I'm proud to endorse Joe Biden as President of the United States.
Okay, good for you.
I've seen the Vice President help a community heal. 1 year to the day after the Boston Marathon bombings that tore up bodies and tore our sense of safety and community, he was here.
Okay.
People who'd been hurt, people who were afraid. He gave them peace.
Weird, he was there. I don't see the former president, Barack Obama. That gets me every time. Anyway, okay, that's kind of what that's his job. I'm sure presidents and vice presidents go to disaster areas all the time, and you see them hugging people and talking to people and shaking hands with first responders and things like that. That's a good thing. I don't knock Joe for that. Now, can Joe remember that he did that right now? I'm not so convinced, but hey, I'm just saying.
And he gave them grace. I watched
grace.
it up close.
We are Boston.
How close? Did he sniff your hair? I'm just curious.
We are America. We respond. We endure. We overcome. And we own the finish line.
Wow. Did you see that? I'm going to show you that again because that was impressive. Joe Biden actually used to be able to speak to a crowd. maybe it's because of a teleprompter, but listen to him.
Safety and community.
Look how lucid he is.
He was here.
Oh,
people
I
who'd
went
been
too
hurt,
far.
people who were afraid. He gave them peace and he gave them grace. I watched it.
Oh, come on.
Up close.
We are Boston. We are America. We respond. We endure. We overcome. And we own the finish line.
But when Donald Trump...
Wow, that's pretty amazing that he used to be able to talk. Oh my gosh, Black Hebrew Israelites is here. Now were you here yesterday? I'm just curious. That's right. I'm just saying. Were you here yesterday? That's right. But when Donald Trump's gone, we will need to do more. Well, I got a little secret for you, Elizabeth. I'm not going to play any more of this because it's taking too damn long. But I have a little secret for you, Elizabeth. There's a pretty good chance that Donald Trump's not going to be gone for another 4.5 years, I'm going to guess. Just maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Unless Joe Biden really starts really taking that ginkgo biloba or whatever that shit's called that helps your mind work and stuff. Anyway, oh my gosh. Oh, a whole bunch of people showing up. Okay. Anyway, enough of Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren, I gotta check Black Twitter today, and I'll check it and maybe get back to you tomorrow. But I'm just curious, is Black Twitter gonna drag Elizabeth Warren for stepping all over Barack Obama's endorsement? Because really, if Barack Obama didn't, now the fact that Barack Obama waited until there was only one left to endorse Joe Biden, I don't think he was that confident in Joe Biden. But hey, got to do it now because he's the only one left. But if he waited this long, don't you think that the former president of the United States, the president who Joe Biden served under, gives that endorsement? That should be that should be the coup de grace, right? It should be the big statement. Yesterday, the former president of the United States endorses Joe Biden. And that should be the news for a while. And then the very next day, Elizabeth Warren finally bows to the Democratic Party and does it and kind of steps all over Barack Obama's endorsement. So I'm going to be curious what people are going to be talking about today or tomorrow. Just look out for that. I bet you that there's going to be some people pissed off that Elizabeth Warren waited till after Barack Obama endorsed him. She should have done this earlier. Thank you. All right. All right. We're going to do a very, very quick trip through Twitter just to see what's happening right now, if there's any new stuff. So here's the Explore tab. Updating on the coronavirus. World surpasses 2 million confirmed cases. Total number of global cases has surpassed 2 million, including more than 128,000 fatalities. More than 500,000 patients are reported to have recovered. Get the latest updates from around the world. U.S. death toll now exceeds 226,000. International Monetary Fund predicts global economy to shrink by 3% in 2020 because everyone's shut down across the world. Hey, Larry, how you doing? Peace be upon him. EU to discuss targets of a recovery fund. Yeah, it's funny. I still don't think half these people in the United States who are bitching about Trump, I don't think they realize how much worse it is in the EU than here. And could it get, I don't know. I mean, you combine just those 5 countries in the middle of the EU, or the big ones, France, Italy, Spain, Germany, Belgium, and the UK, even though it's not in the EU, that's a pretty damn fucked up situation over there too. Who are they going to blame for that? Is it Donald Trump's fault that Europe's rate of death and cases far exceeds percentage-wise per million the United States? Is that Trump's fault too? Or is it just Trump's fault here? I'm hoping you'd think it's just... Whose fault is it in all those other countries where this is happening? I see Trudeau's doing a live press conference. I'm not doing that one. I just can't. Anyway, Denmark is beginning to reopen some schools. Australian teachers urged to keep classrooms open. South Korea is holding their election. But it didn't hit South Korea that hard. And I still say that weather map, the climate map, I still think there's something valid there because all the hardest hit areas are in that yellow or green area on that map that I showed you earlier. All right, moving on. Let's go to the actual trending Twitter today. World Health Organization is trending number 1. We already know why, so I'm not going to continue on that one. Trump press conference. People were bitching about the press conference yesterday because that's when he announced the World Health Organization not defunding, but holding their funds. Now, remember, Donald Trump completely excluded the CDC from these briefings because they warned Americans about the pandemic in February while he was golfing and rallying. Bullshit! That's also bullshit. Okay? Trump put the coronavirus task force together and they were doing all this stuff. Oh, God, wait till Washington Post. Trump is breaking every rule in the CDC's 450-page playbook for health. What? This is, of course, the Washington Post. 450-page playbook for health crisis. And, of course, it's behind a paywall. At least the New York Times has the decency to take their bullshit from behind a paywall, at least if it's related to coronavirus, because Americans really want to know. And if the Washington Post can't do it for those types of articles, fuck them. They don't deserve to report on it because most people aren't going to pay to look at your stupid newspaper. They can always go watch CNN to find out what's in the Washington Post because the CNN doesn't write any of their own articles anyway. So you want it behind a paywall? I'm not reading your stupid shit, or I'll go find an archive later. By the way, you can usually find Washington Post articles archived in a whole bunch of places, like Reddit and different archive sites. So don't ever pay for the Washington Post articles. Fuck them. All right. Anyway, people are talking about the press conference. Spider-Man 2, apparently, people are ranking Spider-Man movies, don't care. Tarzan's trending. Tarzan's trending because apparently Bad Baby, you know who that is? She's the little Catch Me Outside girl. She got Black Twitter rolling because she said something about comparing herself to Tarzan because she grew up in the hood. Oh no, Bad Baby or Bad Barbie. What do they call her? Bad, what the hell's her name? Whatever. Bad baby. Whatever. Compare herself to Tarzan because she grew up in the hood and Tarzan's now trending. Tarzan grew up with the apes. She calling black people apes? Bitch, I oughta.
How dare you?
All right, moving on. Enough about Tarzan. Derrick Rose. Time to play a game of NBA hypotheticals. What is that about? People are talking about Derrick Rose. Why? Oh, that's the only reason he's being. Why are they? Okay, D Rose, one of those athletes everybody roots for, because he came back from an injury. I don't know, and I don't care. We're gonna move on because I can go through this fast. Portfolio day, don't care. Far from home. That's thanks Obama. Thanks Obama is trending. Oh, Ranting Monkey, my friend Ranting Monkey. For those of you who are coming here from the Hard News Network, one of my friends over here on the internets is the Ranting Monkey, and he says, okay, somebody here says, I know that we didn't all agree with every aspect of Obama's presidency, but there's something so comforting to me about his video message to the nation earlier. Remember having a guy in office who formed full sentences, who showed empathy and love? Wait a minute, hold up. Form full sentences? Didn't the guy who she's saying form full sentences just endorse Joe fucking Biden? The guy who forgets what he was saying from the beginning of the sentence to the end of the sentence and goes through about 7 subjects in 10 words because he can't remember what the fuck he was saying? We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men and women and, you know the deal. You know that guy?
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Anyway, Ranting Monkey replies with, I remember the guy who okayed selling guns to Mexican drug cartels and those guns being used to kill people, including Americans. Ha! Ding! His band of progressives cleared the runway for a much safer landing. Obama's legacy high. Okay, whatever. Thanks, Obama, for showing America what a real treason looks like. Okay, that's something. Oh my gosh, that's grotesque. Anyway, thanks Obama for downplaying the water crisis in Flint with this disgusting political stunt. Yeah, remember that? He went to Flint. Can I get a drink of water? Which actually, now a lot of people bring up Flint all the time. If you're not really familiar with what's going on, first of all, they say, like I remember seeing a tweet by somebody, we spend this and this and that on whatever, but we can't spend $5 million to fix Flint. I think that was the Krasenstein brothers tweeting under the wife of either Brian or his uglier twin brother. Anyway, if you haven't looked up Flint lately, Flint has been replacing the entire pipe system throughout the city. Since that crisis began, it's a monstrous project. It takes years and years and years. The state government, I think, put in over $340 million. The federal government also chipped in another $100 million. So anyone who tells you that they've not been working on the problem in Flint, just tell them to kiss my fat ass. You don't even have to tell them yours. Tell them to kiss PDawg Knight's fat ass, okay? Okay, don't do that. Oh, Brooklyn Defiant. Brooklyn Dad. I haven't seen this guy for a while. He's a total TDS guy. Now, Real Tim Black says, Obama reminds us, eloquent speeches, symbolism, and false pride are more important than change. Now, look, Tim Black is a progressive. I mean, like a Bernie Sanders progressive. And he's a brother who's on the internet. In fact, look up Tim Black on YouTube. Just at least go watch a couple of his videos and you'll get the feel. He's total progressive, but he has no time for bullshit. So Tim Black says, Obama reminds us, eloquent speeches, symbolisms, and false pride are more important than change. People are too hypnotized to do the math. If Obama supported hope and change, why didn't he endorse the candidate prescribing the most hope and change? He never was. Hashtag thanks Obama. Oh, that got Brooklyn Dad Defiant a little riled up. I was content to let angry burners take their time to grieve and all that, but you will not use hashtag thanks Obama hashtag to piss on our favorite best president ever. Nah, Real Tim Black, your man lost. He conceded, he endorsed, he wants to beat Trump. Who are you trying to beat? I love it when that they all have a food fight over there on the other side over there. Well, that way for you guys. Anyway, all right, that's the Thanks Obama hashtag. Love is Rage, we're skipping that. Spider-Verse, yeah, more about Spider-Man. Flower Boy, what's Flower Boy? Let's check this out. All right, Flower Boy is what? Come on. Say Flower Boy is trending and expected it to be about Tyler, the Creator, but it's just some K-pop shit. Oh, God. Now, my official K-pop aficionado in the Morning Night Live is not in the chat today, so I'm going to skip this because it's also about K-pop. Anything else? Team B-side? No. More Life? No. Rose Garden has to do with Trump. Blaming the WHO. Let's just read a couple of these. Richard Blumenthal. Is that the senator from Connecticut? He's kind of a douchebag. Instead of Trump falsely blaming the WHO for his faux, as in fake, review, America needs a pandemic review commission, an independent bipartisan investigation, just like after 9/11. I want you to blow me another kiss. Never mind, Mr. Blumenthal. Okay, so yeah, people bitching about blaming the WHO. Well, and again, let me give you another mixed message from PDawg Night. This is the mixed message of the day. I don't 100% blame the WHO. I blame
China is asshole.
China. They didn't give the information because, again, the WHO sometimes has to work off the information that they're given. China was the one who wouldn't allow our CDC to go in and help try to figure out this virus. They finally let the WHO send some scientists into China, and they began to study it. But that was in late January. It was already too fucking late. Okay, we offered to send CDC people in early January, mid-January, early February, mid-February, and that was Donald Trump who offered them. But no, we didn't do anything in February. We weren't trying to get more information. We didn't do a goddamn thing in February. They opened a commission on the 27th of January. They did the travel thing, restrictions on February or January 31st. And then for the rest of the month of February, they did nothing whatsoever. I guarantee it, because if you ask the media, they said, well, you did nothing for 7 weeks. I can't remember when they did the Europe travel restrictions or the UK travel restrictions, or started getting the test kits together, and then the CDC's test kits failed, and they had to start over with the test kits. And I can't remember what month that was. Like I said, I'm going to come up with some receipts, and I'm going to put them together in a video. Yes, I will make a video. One of the rare things I do. But anyway, lots of people bitching about Trump in that. Let's see if I just want to see if there's any more breaking news in the hashtags, and it doesn't look like it. So I'm not going to do any more Twitter trends today. If you'd like to send me news, I do have a hashtag I use. If you're on Twitter, it's PDK News, hashtag PDK News. Spelled like that. Here, I'll put it in there. Hashtag PDK News. I'll check there. I have so many bookmarks of items that I wanted to get to over the next day. And also, Gunfox sends me a ton of articles. I got them already up here, but I don't have time to get to them. Tomorrow, I'm going to get through some of my bookmarks, some of these stories, and my PDK News stories. Also, on Thursday, for my regulars who've been here for a while, you already know that it is what? FTG Thursday. FTG stands for fuck that guy, or fuck that gal, or fuck that group, or whatever you want to call it. But FTG just means fuck that whoever. And we have FTG Thursday, where we have the FTGs of the week, of the prior week. And so get ready for that one if you're new here. By the way, if you are new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button and click the bell to make sure you get notifications. Yes, we do have quite a few PDK news stories to get through, so we'll get to some of them tomorrow. But for today, I have to call it a day. It is the time that I have to go somewhere else besides my dining room. So, If you are new here, again, please subscribe. And also, we're here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 2 p.m. GMT, in case you use GMT, because you're in some other part of the world that you got to figure out what time it is in the United States. And if you would be so kind on your way out, don't forget to hit the like button. That thumbs up sign, you know, that little thumbs up thing. If you haven't done it yet, hit it now. And except for Duck Dog, if you're here, I haven't seen Duck Dog. I also haven't seen MC. I saw MC on Twitter earlier this morning. But anyway, hit the thumbs up on the way out. And if you'd like to support the channel financially, that would be me financially, because sometimes it helps me pay my cable bill, which it pays for my internet bill is what it does. And you can do that through the Streamlabs link in the description down below. It's always in the chat. It's always right below me right here, PDawgnight.live. You can do that there. So, gotta be gone. Oh, Galactic North, you missed the show. Oh, and if that reminded me, Galactic North, you can always watch the replay. If you're watching the replay, please leave a comment in the comment section to let me know you were here. That way, I can say thank you, or at least acknowledge that you were dropping in. So, that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I really, really, really got to go. So, that's it. My name's PDawg Night, and I'm out of here. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawg Night, and thank you for watching today on the PDawg Night channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawg Night, and I'm out of here.